From our earliest breaths, we are handed a blueprint. We learn the rules, absorb the expectations, and slowly, sometimes painfully, mold ourselves to fit into a world we never designed. But in this act of adaptation, a quiet tragedy unfolds. We sever the connection to our own core, that essential self waiting beneath the layers of who you were told to be. The pioneering psychologist Carl Jung spent his life mapping this inner wilderness, and his work reveals a piercing truth. To genuinely cherish yourself is to refuse a life of crumbs. But here's the unsettling part. You might be refusing it right now and not even know why. How often have you looked at your life and felt a quiet erosion? A relationship where your energy is a one-way stream. A career that pays in security but costs you your passion. A social circle where you feel like a background character in someone else's story. On the surface, it's all acceptable, yet beneath a whisper, is this really it? Jung would point not to your circumstances, but to the shadow, not a monster, but the disowned parts of you, the needs, the strengths, the valid anger you were taught to hide. We bury these pieces to belong, to be loved, to be safe, but they don't vanish, they ferment in the dark, and then they orchestrate your life from the wings. They attract the very situations that confirm their hidden beliefs, that you are not worthy of more. What you will not face within yourself, you will be destined to meet outside yourself, wearing the mask of fate. This is why yearning for love can land you in loneliness, why wanting success keeps you stuck in stagnation. A fragment of your own psyche, convinced it is unworthy, sabotages the very dreams your conscious mind chases. The life you have is a conversation your soul is having with itself. Real change, therefore, isn't about forcing new outcomes. It's an excavation. It's daring to turn the light inward, to stop demanding the world change first, and to begin deciphering your inner landscape. Your unconscious isn't your foe. It's a relentless, honest messenger. Every external struggle is often an internal echo. If you consistently accept less, it is because a chapter of your story still believes that less is what you are owed. Imagine waking up tomorrow realizing that everything you've been seeking, the validation, the security, the profound connection, was never something to be found, but something to be remembered. That you are already complete. But this isn't about imagination, it's about embodiment. And that journey starts with a single seismic choice, the choice to know yourself, the choice to meet your shadow, the choice to stop negotiating with a life that feels like a compromise. When you make that choice, your axis shifts. You don't just think differently, you vibrate differently. Superficial bonds begin to chafe because your soul now craves depth. Uninspiring work becomes intolerable because you feel a deeper purpose stirring. Mistreatment is no longer justifiable because you've touched your own inherent dignity. Jung called this path individuation, the journey to become your undivided, authentic self. And he was clear, it demands courage. Most avoid it because it means shedding the familiar skin of who you thought you were to step naked into the possibility of who you are. So, the pivotal question isn't about how, it's about when. How much longer will you tolerate the subtle ache of misalignment? How many more times will you silence that inner voice saying, there is more for you? Life isn't waiting to grant you permission. There's no perfect sign. The only signal you need is already pulsing within you. That discomfort, that longing, that sense that something doesn't fit. That is your guide. When you finally decide to listen, a profound realignment begins. Connections shift, opportunities surface, not because the universe changed its rules, but because you changed your frequency. You stopped operating from need and started choosing from wholeness. But this is where the mind plays its cruelest trick. It clings to the familiar prison, calling it safety. This comfort zone is often just a cell with pleasant wallpaper, and the longer you stay, the more you defer the life that is authentically yours. Jung's concept of shadow integration is the key. Your willingness to accept less is often a shadow play, a repressed belief running the show. The work isn't about changing others, it's the internal archaeology of questioning every story you've been told about your limits. As you do this work, synchronicity stirs, meaningful coincidences align, paths clear. This isn't magic, it's harmony. When you honor yourself, the world mirrors that respect back. Yet so many wait for external proof before they dare to transform internally. They want a guarantee before they leap. But the sequence is non-negotiable. You must believe in your worth first. You must choose yourself first. Only then does the evidence appear. This path is not a straight line. There will be days of doubt, moments where the old familiar emptiness seems safer than the new unknown expanse. Self-love is not a destination you reach, it is a practice you live, a daily decision. And as you practice, your perception sharpens. What you once tolerated now feels abrasive. What you once justified, you now see with stark clarity. This is the point of no return. Seeing the truth obligates you to it. Now observe your life. Look at your relationships, your routines, your environment. Ask with ruthless honesty, does this feel like home to my soul? Or am I constantly bending, adjusting, shrinking to fit within it? Your unconscious is always speaking. That fatigue after certain interactions, that gut feeling about a place or person, that restless yearning, these are not random. They are your psyche's navigation system. To settle is to betray the self you haven't yet met. Are you willing to listen? Individuation requires passing through the void, the space between who you were and who you will become. That emptiness terrifies us, so we fill it with old toxic patterns. But the void is sacred. It's the clearing where the new can be built. Letting go is the ultimate act of trust. What is truly yours can never be lost by releasing what was never yours to keep. Ask yourself, what am I truly afraid to release? Is it the belief that nothing better exists? The fear of being alone? The story that you are not enough? These are just stories, programs, and they can be rewritten. You cannot attract what you believe you don't deserve. Your unconscious mind is a magnet, drawing experiences that match your deepest self-assessment. When you start releasing what is not yours, your energy transforms. Not everyone will welcome this change. Your growth may become a mirror that others find uncomfortable to look into. Remember, your journey to authenticity does not require a crowd's understanding. The most profound growth often looks like solitude. Your past doesn't define you. Your mistakes are not you. You are the vast, uncharted consciousness beneath all of that. And when you live from that place, the world must respond. Doors open, not because you are forcing them, but because you are finally in alignment. This is your moment. Awakening isn't a future event. It is the decision you make now to see what is true and to act accordingly. You don't need another sign. The longing is the sign. True self-love is the radical daily alignment with your essence. It is your most powerful act of sovereignty. And when you choose it, life has no choice but to meet you there. If this exploration resonated with you, help Winds of Thought reach others seeking depth. Please like this video and subscribe to Journey Deeper. In the comments below, I'd love to know, what is one small way you can honor your worth today? Share it.
your insight might light the way for someone else.